My first interaction with ALSF has been at the time when I was advising the government of Rwanda under the Rwanda Development Board. They helped on-the-job training of lawyers and accountants, and the first negotiations that were done by the team that was supported by the ALSF was really towards those negotiations for the electricity build-up. This really led me to believe a lot in that work that ALSF does, because it's really work for Africa. Eventually, more of the work of ALSF has been across things such as the sovereign debt, things such as bringing in climate-related infrastructure in place. There was an impact assessment that was done recently, and when we look at the impact assessment that was done, there are a lot of positive things that have happened. The other mandate of ALSF has been towards the protection on PPPs, on agreements that governments have. We know that there have been agreements where the governments have lost out in arbitration, and ALSF has been there supporting in those processes. People come to me and ask, like, can they benefit from trainings? Is it possible that this be extended to private sector, for example? So which means that there is a demand for that, and this is, I would say, also a huge amount of achievement. The third area, I would say, is on the knowledge that is being produced by ALSF and the knowledge management that is being done and the dispersion of that knowledge. We've seen recently that there is a manual on sovereign debt, there's a new manual on PPP, there is the light bulb that has been prepared and has an impact in the longer term, because one of those magazines, for example, can stay for a very long time. I would say my first work and my first focus has really been first on the membership. We have seen this year already that we have had 3 signatures and ratification for memberships. There's more coming up because we're following very closely with a few other governments, and including one which is very important for us, Côte d'Ivoire, where the ALSF is headquartered. The second priority is really to look at the resources. When I say resources, one is the financial related resource. In terms of those financial related resources, there is a whole amount of diversification that we need to look at. There's amount of automation as well, in the sense that how do we derive funds, in particular, for example, through some of the training that ALSF is providing. That would be a second front in terms of the resource and the resource mobilization. And for that, I would also appeal to entities that are funders, but also members, to help the ALSF in whichever way they can. The third aspect for me, which is very important, is the communication. I feel ALSF is very humble in all the achievements. We now need to communicate more about all these achievements, because there's so much that has been done, there's so much that has been achieved, and that needs to be known and needs to be better known. We have seen that with an improvement in communication recently, there's much more requests that is coming to ALSF, and we're very happy about that. That also means then that people see the value or are more aware of the value that ALSF can bring in.